Well, coming up on a new year, and I'm gonna start wearing new hats. Hey, I got something real cool for you today. We're gonna talk about Edgar Cayce and what he said about other worlds. What happens when we come here? This is fascinating stuff. You may not have heard this. And I want to assure you that all of this applies to everything we're going through right now. It's amazing, it's powerful. I want you to get excited because wonderful things are open to you. You get to choose it, and we're going to talk about free will also. Let's talk about Edgar Cayce and other worlds. Let's go. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through fears and live an amazing life. It's actually in the 50s here in Florida, so I thought I'd put my little cap on and have a little chat with you. All right, let's talk about Edgar Cayce. Do you know who he is? Well, they called him the sleeping prophet. Edgar Cayce lost his voice very early on in his life. And so he didn't know why. No one could figure out why. And instead of accepting this, he decided to do his own healing. Ended up not only healing himself, but he would go into trances, like hypnotic trances. And that's where it started. Hypnosis, he would go into a deep trance. But what happened is he didn't know what was happening when he was in a trance. Not only did he heal himself, but he found out that he was able to know what was wrong with other people and give them solutions too that most doctors couldn't. In fact, doctors started to consult him when they couldn't do anything else with patients. And the results were outstanding. Now, in addition to this, other people come in, they explore, well, what else does Edgar Cayce know? Well, some people abused that. There were businessmen who wanted to know which stocks to pick, things about their businesses, and Edgar didn't know what information he was giving. Now, his wife did attend these sessions, and she would take notes. There are millions and millions of transcripts through the years of everything that Edgar spoke of. Now, Edgar was a religious man, and he did not believe in reincarnation. So the interesting part is, when he went into a trance, not knowing what he was saying, totally disconnected from that channeling that he was doing, he would actually speak of other worlds and how we came to planet Earth. This is great stuff. You're going to love it. Now, I'm going to apply that to our future, the new events coming up, and how everything is open to us to create in an amazing way. One of the things that Edgar Cayce said was that we cannot infringe on other people's free will, that no matter how much we try, that free will is something that we all possess here that cannot be infringed on. In other words, you can try all you want. You will love me. I've had people actually do this. You will love me. I'm like, no, I won't. And then you get people that want a job and they do things. Well, you can manipulate reality. This is true, and I'm going to talk about that in a moment. However, I want you to know, starting out this conversation, you have 100% free will. You can change anything. You can create your own reality. You are totally in control of your reality. All right, so let's talk about other worlds. Edgar Cayce said, and this is interesting because I actually don't watch videos or anything about other beings from other planets. I don't get into it because I think there's just too much stuff out there and a lot of people that not giving real accurate information. We are all equal, beautiful light beings, and Edgar Cayce said, yes, that is true. We all come from the one source of light and love, and everything else is a creation from that, all right? And everything else exists, and every probability exists, and you can choose it. You have free will to do that. Isn't that exciting? Now, what happened? Who are we? When we came here, he spoke of, and I won't go into detail because it's just way too much information. You can look this up, and that is that he spoke of Arcturians and Pleiadians. Now, I don't have any information or knowledge of that, but he said that many of those here on planet Earth have come from the systems of the Arcturians and the Pleiadians, and that we have all had many lives out as other star beings. In other words, we've experienced other planetary existences. Now, he also said old souls are actually people on planet Earth that have been here a long time, many, many reincarnations, which he didn't believe in, yet he's sharing this information in his trance state. An old soul is simply somebody who's had a lot of human lifetimes here. There are also people here who have had no human experiences, and this is their first one. I know I have been here before. I have very distinct memories of specific lifetimes. I don't think I've had many here. Now, you may feel like you've been here many, many times. I know one thing, and you might feel it, that this is not your home. I'm actually publishing a book coming up called This Is Not Your Home. Why do we feel so uncomfortable? Most people feel very uncomfortable here. I don't feel like I'm home. I feel like out of place here. This shouldn't be this way. Well, I want you to relax because we all chose to come here. So all of these light beings, these other star system beings have been through many, many experiences. And so we bring that here so that we can experience certain things to break through whatever, or master basically new teachings. This is an extremely, extremely challenging planet. Now that's pretty exciting to me, but he spoke of these other worlds that are just massively limitless, and that the one is everything. The one is you. You are the one. He didn't speak of separation or one being. He spoke of the energy field that is everything, that is the one creating and experiencing all the facets of what it can be. All the adventures, all the new things, learning, expanding, and it is expansion. We are expansions. Now, if you don't go into expansion and you think you just want to sit here and get a free ride, bail out at some point, without really having to make much effort, you never get out of it. It continues on, and you might end up going back to another star system or whatever. Now, I want you to know that what is happening here is one of the most profound experiences that we have chosen because it is so dense. We chose to forget. It's not until you forget that you can rediscover yourself. And that's an experience, not knowing. We are the unconscious, and if you've seen my other videos, I have whole videos about this. We are the unconsciousness of the conscious, God, the one. It chose to go into an unconscious state and experience what that is. It's not chaos, it's total intelligence. There's no such thing as chaos. Chaos is organized. It appears to be random, but it never is. Everything is super highly intelligent beyond our comprehension. So other worlds, yes, and there are those who do come here and they can assist. But what I want you to know is no matter what you hear about light beings and all of these extraterrestrials visiting stuff, they all have to respect the free will of the game of planet Earth. That means you and I are in charge. Pretty exciting, isn't it? Now, you have past lives. We are all the one that has been the illusion of limitless, no time, no space, beings, existences, experiences. He also said, Cayce also said, that we cannot know certain things unless they are read in the Akashic records. Akashic records. See, I don't even look up this stuff. For me, it's just I'm focused on this. The Akashic records. Now, here's the deal about that, and that is just like the future, it changes. So no one person can go in and see everything. It is not even allowed because it spoils the game. If I told you what the ending of the movie was, you probably wouldn't go watch it and say, thanks a lot. Now, here's the beauty of our ending here. The reason why no one can actually read everything in the records is because we can change it, and we change it at every moment, right? Every time you make a new decision and you decide to raise your frequency, you change the Akashic records. In other words, that final outcome of that one journey, that thread that goes through as you, can change. All right, now the other thing that I want you to know is that I've talked many times about Nostradamus and Cayce, and they say point blank, you can change the future. No matter what I see, it's only what exists right now. Now, what Cayce said, this is so interesting. He said that everything is just a frequency, a vibration, and that we lowered it to come here. We did that. And that you may be this high frequency being that came here, but you had to lower your frequency and vibration, actually a vibration, to exist here. Otherwise, you couldn't be in a dense body like this. So no matter how high of a frequency you were in before you came here, you had to lower your vibration in order to exist as a human being on this planet. Isn't that interesting? So all of us had to come down, and so other beings, you may have heard this if you're into, extraterrestrials and that, they actually have to lower their vibration in order to communicate with us. And that's why they have a tough time doing that, because they're on a higher frequency, most of them are. And so they actually have to change, and they know how to do that. They know how to manipulate energy, because they're not the dense beings that we are. They have information. They did not choose in that form to forget. They know what they are. And so they're playing out a completely different existence than we are here. But we don't know that. We're learning how to manipulate energy. Now, if you know Dolores Cannon, I love her. I am a trained quantum healing hypnosis technique hypnotist. And she's out there, man. And she was getting information from the people that she hypnotized. She would actually talk to that other side, and they gave very similar information. In other words, we're totally in control of the final chapter of this planet and yours. So even if the collective of the planet, the family that came here, decides to go to you-know-what in a handbasket, it doesn't mean you have to. You could be the triumphant person who goes to any kind of frequency. Look at Christ, Buddha, so many other beautiful beings came here, and they went to the super high frequency, and they still existed on this planet. They were challenged more than other existences because we are dealing with other dense people who refuse to believe some of these things, and that's okay too. That's the acceptance and the love that we must go into. So we are all super high level light beings that came here, lowered our frequencies. Now, some people, this is the really interesting part, there are people who lowered it much more so than others. We all have other histories. We have history out into the limitless, cosmos, the existence, the quantum field. And so some came here and purposefully came in a super low density, and those are the people that we see a lot here who just absolutely are very destructive, very ego-oriented, and of course don't believe any of these things because the power that they wield is in the material world, so they believe. But that's not going to work in the long run. Now, what I want to share with you, and you guys that are in my free email list, you probably saw that I have collaborated with a group who's creating homesteads, going off the grid, but in a way that makes sense in our world. When you are focused on these fear-based information and media, it's all false. It's all false. It's all false, okay? Because it's selling. It's promotion for something that benefits only them. Now, when you see promotions out there and there's a collaboration where you benefit and the giver benefits, then we create a community that works. And this is what I strive to offer you. And I want you to know you have free will to change anything. But if you are not focused on that world that Cayce said, we've come down here to experience and to have our own individual assignment to raise our frequency, to reconnect. Some of us know more about our past lives than others. Some just say, I have no clue, or can't even believe it. Cayce, again, didn't believe in reincarnation, but was giving this very powerful information. So you don't have to believe anything, but your focus alone, no matter what you believe, your focus alone right now is absolutely creating the most powerful reality and future that you and I can change right now. So those Akashic records, you can talk about those all day. No one that reads them is allowed to see everything. No one. They cannot know their future. And you probably heard this before, is that no one can tell you. First of all, no one knows it. You are totally in control of it. So anything anybody told you, I had a psychic tell me like 30 years ago, some amazing stuff. but she said one thing that's powerful, and I want to share that with you right now. You will not experience the things I share with you unless you act on them. And if you don't like anything I told you, you can change it. I'm only seeing what you've created at this moment. And I didn't understand that at the time. 30 years ago, I'm like, what? We didn't even meditate. We didn't do any of that stuff back then. It was like, I just started to do some of those things, and it was like, didn't understand it. Quantum field, what was that? But it made sense later on when so much came, actually all of it came true for me. I realized you can go all the psychics you want, but you're the one creating it. So if you go to these people and you're spending your money to have them tell you what you're thinking, what you're creating. So, well, I need to know that so I can change it. No, you can change it right now. You can change it right now. And I'm not saying that's not valuable information, and it's fun sometimes, but I think so many of us, we go to that because we want them to tell us it's going to be okay. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be okay. You are the ultimate, beautiful, perfect light being. This is an illusion. Enjoy it. Don't fight it. Don't struggle with it. Experience it. Oh, this is what it's like to be human. Oh, but I'm still the power of the universe. I am God. Everyone is. Everything is. That means the creative power flows through you. I just said to one of my students, I said, we say people, energy vampires, and, somebody stole my energy. I said, it's impossible. Only you can give that away. And you can't deplete yourself because you are the one. And the higher frequency you go into, the more you realize nothing can really harm you. You can experience things from that dense vibration that you chose. That's the fun part, right? Enjoy this. Now, what is it in your life right now you'd like to change? Edgar Cayce would tell you, you can do it. You hold the power. You do, right? Click your heels 3 times. There's no place like home. You held the power the whole time. Why didn't you use it? You wouldn't have believed it. Do you believe it now? You guys know that I teach this. If you want to come over and go into my free email system, we're creating homesteads where communities come together that generate 30, 40, 50,000, 70,000, one of them, per month. Your existence to be a good person, high frequency, doesn't mean being broke. That's another story. You can flourish, be abundant, help other people, help yourself. You won't need all the things that you think you need when you're in a lower ego density. When you go to high frequency, it takes very little to be truly happy. And you can go into that space. Don't be afraid to let go of things. What happens is abundance actually flows into you because now you're in a mindset of love and giving in abundance, not lack and fear. So we have to go into that mind shift. If you guys come into my free video series, you will get a free webinar about how to create a homestead with no money, that generates income, that operates like a real business, that you're going to live in the way you want with gardens, fresh gardens, whatever you want to create. I'm creating a retreat. And also you will get a free 1-hour masterclass with me, proven steps to break through fear and manifest anything. I and millions of others on this planet are here to guide you to empower yourself, not somebody else. That's true, that's not true, they're doing this. Now, what are you doing? Because you are the power of the universe, and everything's about raising this. That's all you have to do. One light being at a time, just one. It's you. And you send ripples throughout the multiverses. And we're being applauded because this is one heck of a roller coaster ride. We have some big things coming up. It will challenge us because these are the things we must clear up. One of my students, super awakened state, said, something just showed up, and I said, another lesson. You never go into a state of high-level existence here, frequency, and then nothing shows up. It will always show up because it's never-ending. So the new challenges that show up for you, that's what you need to work on and learn from it. Let it go. Be okay with it. and it dissolves and it will stop coming back. If it's finances, your relationships, jobs, whatever it is, your limitations about what other people are and, having to criticize, step back. That is me I'm looking at. That is me. You and I, same energy field. Same energy field. It's beyond comprehension. So I did a video on Instagram, 3 most powerful words. I don't know. And being at peace with that. I don't have to know. I'm playing a role of not knowing. Isn't this beautiful? I hope you enjoyed just the snippet of what I shared with you on Edgar Cayce. So believe what you want to. It's okay. It's your reality to choose. What are you going to create now? It could be amazing. I hope you'll subscribe to my channel. You can post these anywhere you want. Also, if you guys haven't seen free videos on how to create online businesses, we are teaching people, we're coaching, we're doing it online because, I like working out of my home and anywhere in the world, and this is the course that I took that allowed me to do what I do here. So, and again, these are free videos, the training, yes, you can explore it or not. It's your choice. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. You ready? Let's create a new world, my friend. It's limitless. Namaste.